Hey guys, so I did my makeup inventory numbers video a few weeks ago at this point, and so today I thought that I would actually take you guys through my makeup collection and show you guys what I have and give you guys more of like the visual side of what my makeup inventory looks like. I know that a lot of people don't like to watch these kinds of videos because it triggers them when they're on a low buy or no buy, which is why I did the numbers video separate from this, but I just wanted to show you guys what I have just so I can remember, to be honest. I used to post these kind of photos on my Instagram to keep track of what I had throughout the year to make sure I was using stuff up and getting stuff out of my collection, but I actually don't use my Instagram for like panning purposes anymore. I mostly just post my makeup looks there. Which I'm probably going to post this one because I'm pretty proud of how this came out. I really wanted to do a really like beautiful pink look because it's February. So anyway, today I'm going to be taking you guys through my collection of complexion products basically. So setting spray, primers, foundations, concealers, powders, all that. And I'm sorry if this video is going to be a little bit shaky because I have a tripod, which is what I'm filming on right now, for my phone, but I can't set up the tripod so that like my phone is like looking over the products, so I have to hold my phone in my hand while I'm going through my stuff, so it might get a little bit shaky. I apologize. I'll try my best not to do that. But yeah, let's just get right into the products. So first we have my Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder here. This is the only loose powder that I use for my under eyes, so that's pretty much the only place I use loose powder. I did used to own the Coty Airspun powder as well. I like this one a lot more just because this powder is much more finely milled, but also mostly because it's much more pigmented. I can use a concealer that is maybe slightly darker than what I would usually like to have, and my under eyes will still look really bright because of how pigmented this powder is. It looks a little bit dirty because it's got like dried up lash glue all over it, whatever. And okay, so down the line we have my MAC Studio Fix Powder Foundation. I use this as a really quick foundation when I just want to do some quick makeup, but I also use this to set my other foundations when I want extra coverage because this does have quite a bit of coverage on its own, and I use the shade C3.5. Then lastly for powders, we have the Maybelline Fit Me Pressed Powder. I used to love this. This was my holy grail before I discovered the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder, but the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder is becoming increasingly harder to find, which is scaring me a little bit. Rimmel in general as a brand, I feel like, is becoming increasingly harder to find for me. But yeah, I like this powder. I do like the Rimmel one more just because the Rimmel one has a little bit of added coverage to it, and this one really doesn't. I mean, I'm using the shade Translucent, but even the ones that have pigment to them don't really add much coverage. But this is a really good mattifying powder regardless. I just really miss my Rimmel one. For my powders, I'm pretty much good with all of them. I have a feeling that all of these might be used up by the end of the year. Maybe not the loose powder because loose powder takes me quite a while to use up. But I mean, I want most of these products that are sitting here gone by the end of the year. I like to have a fresh collection when it comes to complexion products at the start of every year. Here I have the Laura Mercier foundation primer that I got with the foundation that I got from Influencer. This primer I really have not tried much of because it is more of a dewy primer. I have oily skin, so I don't really know how this is going to go over. I have worn this, but I've worn it with a matte primer, like kind of mixed in, so not sure how this is going to perform on its own, but I do want to try to use this up while it's still, cold out and my skin isn't as oily. My next primer is the Catrice Prime and Fine Mattifying Primer. It's the Pore Refining Anti-Shine Base. This is in a project pan, so this is going to be gone soon. It's an alright primer. I don't really feel strongly about it either way. It keeps my makeup on. It's just kind of average to me. This is the newest primer to my collection that I've actually paid for. This is the Ulta Beauty Mattifying Face Primer. I bought this because, again, the Catrice one is running out. I bought this with the gift card that I got for my birthday. And I haven't worn this yet, but I've swatched it, I guess you could say. Like, I rubbed a little bit of it on my hand. And this is very, very silicone-y. Very reminiscent of the Maybelline Baby Skin Primer, which I thought was alright. I wasn't in love with that primer when I used it, but, I mean, we'll see how this one works. But this right here is my only setting spray, basically. This is the Mario Badescu Aloe Spray with aloe, herbs, and rose water, and yeah, this is my only setting spray. I use this basically just to take away the powderiness from my skin because, again, I have oily skin, so I do pack on quite a bit of powder and nobody likes to look powdery. So oops, I use this mainly to, you know, add moisture back into my skin, but it does help with the longevity of my makeup, I feel. Although it is a toner, it's not really supposed to be used as a makeup setting spray, but that's what I use it as anyway. Now for foundations. Over here we have the Revlon Color Stay foundation. I have been in such a long love affair with this foundation. It's going very strong. Wedding invitations are going to be sent out pretty soon. I've been using this foundation for like 5 years now. I've had dozens and dozens of bottles of this foundation. I'm using this one up in a project pan currently, just because this one is getting a little bit up there in age for me. I mean, it's not super old. I've probably had this one for like 9 months, but I don't like to have foundations lingering for longer than a year, so this one is getting up there in age for me, so I just want to use it up so I can purchase a fresh bottle of it. Next, I have the CoverGirl True Blend Matte Made Foundation. I feel kind of meh about this, just because, I mean, it's a solid foundation. It is matte. It's got really full coverage. It has decent staying power, but the Revlon Color Stay has better staying power than this does. This, I have a feeling, is going to be one of those products that I just kind of fall like right in between for me. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. I'm not going to say whether or not I would repurchase this because I don't know, because it's just kind of average for me. I don't hate this foundation. If you want to try to pick it up on your own and test it out, I would encourage you to do it because it's a pretty solid foundation. It doesn't wow me. This is my Laura Mercier Flawless Lumiere Radiance Perfecting Foundation that I got from Influencer with that primer. And I would say it's an alright foundation. I haven't given it too much of a shot. I wore this foundation yesterday and it was pretty solid. I am, you know, interested in trying out foundations that are kind of less matte and more on the natural finish side, and this is definitely that. It's got really decent coverage. My only issue with this is that the pump, I don't know if the pump is just tiny, but I don't know. I have to take like 5 or 6 pumps of this foundation to get like what I would get from 2 or 3 pumps of any of my other foundations. So this just gives very little product when you try to squirt it out, but that's not really a huge issue for me. But yeah, I have to gather some more thoughts on this foundation so I can give like a solidified review, but I'm enjoying testing it out so far. This is my NARS, I always forget what this is called, the Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. I really, really enjoy this foundation. This is, again, like the Laura Mercier one, a very natural finish foundation, but the coverage is amazing. It makes your skin look so beautiful. If you have super oily skin, this is probably not for you. I do have oily skin, but I just kind of live with it because, oh my goodness, this makes the skin glow. Not in like a super dewy way, but in a really natural way. And I'm in love with this formula. I can't wear this in the summer because this foundation does not stand a chance against my skin in the summertime, but it is a beautiful winter foundation for me, and I've been really enjoying it so far. I haven't gotten a chance to use much of it because I'm trying to use up my other foundations, but I have tried multiple samples of this before purchasing it, and it is just so good. Over here I have my Catrice Prime and Fine Makeup Transformer Drops. I use this mostly in the summer because I really don't believe in having to buy multiple shades of the same foundation just to suit my summer skin tone, because honestly, I do get pretty tan in the summer, but that tan only lasts me like for 2 to 3 months, so I just don't like the idea of buying a foundation shade that I can only wear in like a 2 to 3 month window out of the whole year, so I would rather just mix in 2 to 3 drops of this into any of my already existing foundations, and it creates my perfect summer shade. As for my foundations, you guys know, if you guys saw my makeup use up goals video, I want all of my current foundations gone before the end of the year. When it comes to the Transformer drops, I can't really set a goal for that just because I only use that in such a short time period throughout the year. I don't know if that's going to be finished this year. It might be, because I don't think you get a ton of product in there, and I used quite a bit of it last year. So I think I may actually have to end up buying another one like sometime in the middle of the summer this year, but I can't really set a goal for that. Now on to concealers. I do have two color correctors here. Both of them are from LA Girl. One of them is a peach corrector for the under eyes. The other one is the green corrector. I don't use the green corrector too often because I've been more diligent with my skincare routine, so I haven't been breaking out as much, so I haven't needed to use it, but it's still good to have one on hand. And this is the peach corrector that I use literally every single day to correct the darkness under my eyes. I have two of the Maybelline Instant Age Rewinds here because I bought this one again. This was another item that I bought with my gift card for my birthday because I fell in love with this concealer and I thought I was running out of this because look at how low I've gotten on this, but so much product is still coming out of this thing. So I really underestimated how long these concealers last. So yeah, I'm focusing on trying to use this one up currently, but oh my goodness, so much product is still pumping out of this thing. Last but not least, I have my Sephora Bright Future Gel Serum Concealer. I really enjoy this. It's not a super expensive concealer, even though it is high-end, because it is the Sephora brand, and the Sephora brand products tend to not be so expensive. I think this is like $14. I was surprised at how much I loved this. I mean, this concealer was really hyped up around a year and a half to 2 years ago, and I see the hype now. I've been really enjoying it, although I haven't been using it as much because I'm trying to use up my Maybelline one, but this is a really solid concealer. My goal for my concealers is pretty much the same as my goal for my foundations. I want to try to use them all up before the end of the year. I don't know if I can use up this green one by the end of the year because that honestly depends on how my skin behaves, but yeah, I want most of my complexion products gone by the end of the year. That was my complexion products collection video, I guess you could say. I am going to be doing this for my entire makeup collection. I think the next one that I'm gonna do is probably going to be like blushes and bronzers, so be on the lookout for that video. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't that already to make sure you can stick around for the next video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!